Hey, Notes Fire. Sorry that I missed last Wednesday. I just got a root canal, and honestly, I was just kind of milking that excuse. But anyway, I wanted to talk about what Amy brought up in her last video, which was milestones. So knowing what most of you know about me, it wouldn't be that unreasonable to assume that my life milestone list probably looks something like this. And it's not unreasonable. It's a pretty common list. I have a bunch of check marks, so that's gotta be good, right? But really, I'm always a little uncomfortable when people start to talk about milestones and making them by a certain age, because this isn't really my list. In fact, it's not that different from like a typical standard adult list. I mean, if you take out the bit about Dave Green, you basically just have a few more things left to do, and then adults, you win. Marker's dying a little bit. And I have a real problem with this list because there's a lot of implications about it. It implies that everybody's going to want the same thing. It implies that everybody's going to do the same thing. And there's sort of age requirements built into here that aren't official, but everyone sort of feels them. Like if you haven't done one of these things by a certain age, that's when people start to go, oh, hey, are you going to do that? Is that, what's going on, man? And yes, I've knocked some things off the template, but it hasn't been to complete a template. It's just been sort of things that happened at certain times in my life, and that's when they happen. And I worry sometimes that people look at me and they assume I'm following this list, and that because I've gotten more steps off of it than they have, I'm somehow winning at adults. Which, even if this was my list, that would not be true. You don't win at adults. There isn't a list of things that you have to accomplish by a certain time or you get a demerit. And second of all, this isn't my list. My list looks more like this. I've never really had goals. I've never really searched for specific things. Most of the things I've checked off my so-called list, I just sort of stumbled into. And I'm not complaining that those things happened, and I'm not saying that I didn't do any work to achieve them, but I feel like it paints a misleading picture sometimes. Even as far back as high school, I never really could figure out what I wanted to put on this list. The truth is, the only list I've ever really been able to come up with is a list of someday maybes. Things that I am interested in and that I would enjoy, but I just can't quite commit that that's something that I would want to have a significant life goal be made from. My someday maybe list isn't really a list, it's just a jumble of things, and I don't really know what order I want to do them in, which mostly results in me not doing them. And some of the things in this jumbled mess I have done, but some of them I just kind of lucked out. So I guess I still kind of have a hard time being told that I've reached a milestone when I don't even really know what a milestone is. And even if I had a list, it would look different than everybody else's, and that's not a bad thing. You're not losing just because your list looks different than somebody else's, or because you have fewer things checked off. It's not a competition. And as for this list, I don't know. Some of them are going to get done, most of them probably aren't. But I have a feeling that the path is going to be kind of like this. I don't know the order that they're going to happen in, and I'm mostly okay with that. Personally, I think this whole adult thing comes down to more than just some check marks on a list. That's all for me. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts about milestones, feel free to talk about them in the comments. And until then, I will see you next time. What are you doing? No, get your arm out of it! You're ruining the oh, come on!